Hello, welcome to the Fall 2022 Town Meeting Warrant Preview. My name is Cody Haddad. I'm the Assistant Town Administrator. I'm joined by Sean McGinnis, our Town Administrator. Sean, how are you?
I'm good, thank you, Cody.
So today we will go through the warrant for a town meeting. There's 12 articles. Town meeting will be held on Tuesday, October 18th at the Dartmouth High School, 555 Bakerville Road. Town meeting begins at 7 p.m. Doors will be open at 5 p.m. for a check-in. So we will get started here. We have 4 Community Preservation Act articles. The first one is the Dias Landing Marina expansion. This is in the amount of $200,000, and this is the match to a state Seaport Economic Council grant that the town was awarded of roughly $1 million. This $200,000 is that 20% match for the project total of about $1.2 million. The second article is the Russell's Mills Land Conservation Phase 2 for $202,500. This is Phase 2 of the Russell's Mills Land Conservation through DNRT. This would expand on their land grant that they received several years ago, and it helps to create this greenway from the coast up to UMass Dartmouth of all protected conservation land. Article 3 is the Regional Park Playground in the amount of $512,086. This is exactly 50% of the total project cost. The other half comes from the capital plan, and this would be to replace and upgrade the existing playground at the Dartmouth Regional Park. It's the only playground in the north part of town, so this is certainly an important project. The last Community Preservation Act article is for the Dartmouth Heritage Trail in the amount of $22,700. This expands on the existing Heritage Trail and adds additional kiosks, creates a potential bikeway, and expands on the Heritage Trail overall, which was initially implemented in Dartmouth's 350th anniversary. Article 5, Sean?
Yes, so Article 5 is the Appropriation to the Stabilization Fund. This article transfers $1,150,000 from the tax levy for the purpose of supplementing the Stabilization Fund. A few years ago, the town changed its financial policy from 7.5% of general fund revenues for the stabilization fund goal to 10% of general fund revenues. This additional amount of $1,150,000 will get us to 9.7% of our general fund revenues, so that is very close to the goal. Article 6, acceptance of the Capital Planning Committee report and funding of the FY23 capital plan. This allocates funding for a number of items. I'll hit on some of the higher topics. One is town energy efficiency improvements for $100,000. Municipal broadband feasibility study for $50,000. 2 administrative vehicles for the police department for $79,667. Dartmouth Schools has a number of items related to window replacement and security, as well as technology and telephone upgrades, in addition to playground improvements and parking lot paving. And their total is $1,010,000. The DPW Administration Division is funding relocation design of Tucker Road at State Road. Many of you may recall that there was an alternative design with MassDOT a few years ago, where Tucker Road would be realigned to meet at the Hathaway Road intersection. Subsequently, MassDOT has come up with an alternative plan that doesn't include the relocation, but it does allow for the town to design its own relocation in the same area and pay for that funding. So this would fund the design of that. In addition to that, it's $150,000 for the Hawthorne Street reconstruction design. This would redesign Hawthorne Street to be more biker-friendly and commuter-friendly, and also have some parking lanes in addition to that. Under DPW, the Highway Division, they're trying to fund 3 dump trucks, 34,400-pound gross vehicle weight. And then the Construction Division is funding Bobcat skid steer. And then Parks and Recreation, as Cody had mentioned, part of the CPC article. This is the other half, would be the Dartmouth Regional Parks and Trails Playground, which is $512,086, as well as some repairs to Allen Street and the Round Hill Beach roadway repairs. And lastly, the Dctv Enterprise Fund is $150,000 for their DCV truck video equipment upgrades. Article 7, appropriation to the Stabilization Fund for collective bargaining and non-union agreements. The town currently has 3 collective bargaining agreements that are in the process of bargaining. This allocates $442,000 from the tax levy for the purpose of supplementing the stabilization fund for collective bargaining, assuming that we settle in time for a Springtown meeting, which we anticipate we will. Article 8, appropriations for collective bargaining agreements. This appropriates $52,834 for the collective bargaining settlement with the town's Dartmouth Management Union for FY23. Article 9, creation of a stabilization fund for opioid legal settlement receipts. The town was part of a class action lawsuit by the state with the opioid pharmaceutical companies. They had reached a settlement. The town has subsequently received its first check of $40,211.53. We anticipate receiving more of these checks over the next 15 years. So in order to spend this money in accordance with the class action settlement, the state has an agreement, Massachusetts State Subdivision Agreement for the state opioid settlements. This dictates how the funds can be used. So in order to do that effectively and have a plan, we are putting that into this stabilization fund and creating the stabilization fund, which leads to Article 10, appropriation to the stabilization fund for opioid legal settlement receipts. This appropriates the sum of $40,211.53 to the previous article, the opioid stabilization fund. Article 11, supplement to the FY23 operating budget of the Dartmouth Community Television Dctv Enterprise Fund. This supplements the FY23 operating budget of Dctv for the appropriation of $15,000 in order to cover legal costs related to the bargaining of the Comcast franchise agreement that the town has. It's a 10-year agreement. Article 12, Dartmouth Wetland Protection Bylaw Amendment. This amendment increases the fee for expert review of projects with the Conservation Commission from $2,500 to $3,500. And that is the last article.
Very good. So just once again, as a reminder, town meeting will be on Tuesday, October 18th at 7 p.m. at the Dartmouth High School. Doors open and check-in begins at 5 p.m. A live town meeting coverage by Dctv will happen on Channel 18 starting at 7 p.m. And this will conclude our fall warrant preview. Sean, thank you for joining me.
All right. Thank you, Cody.
Thanks.